I was halfway through a glass of lukewarm champagne when my father's voice sliced through the hall. "Get out! You're an embarrassment to this family!" Every conversation froze. My brother's wedding was already a theater of pretension, chandeliers, rented smiles, and gold that wasn't theirs. Now I was the villain in their perfect scene. My stepmother stood beside him, her lips curled in a rehearsed smirk. "Before you go," she said, her voice honeyed with venom, "how much are you earning these days? Still playing entrepreneur?" A few chuckles rippled through the crowd. I met her eyes, calm, steady. "Enough," I said. "Enough to feed 300 people." Then I turned and walked out. They thought I left humiliated. They didn't know I had just started the timer. I used to think family was unconditional, but that was before my mother died and my father remarried a woman who treated compassion like a competition. Before my brother started calling me the mistake. I'd tried. Birthdays, graduations, messages they ignored. When they finally invited me to his wedding after 5 years of silence, I thought, maybe they were trying to make amends. But it wasn't about reconciliation. It was about display. They wanted me there as proof. The outcast who turned out fine. The charity case who didn't ruin their perfect picture image. When I RSVP'd yes, I wasn't planning revenge. But the moment I saw how they looked at me, like I was dirt under their polished shoes, something in me shifted. 2 weeks before the wedding, I saw the catering invoice on the event manager's desk. Same company that had handled one of my corporate events last year. Same owner who owed me a favor. It's funny how polite people become when you save their business from collapse. "Need anything?" he'd asked back then. "Not yet," I'd said. But that night, I called him. "Remember that favor? I'm cashing it in." The day of the wedding, I arrived in a simple dress. No designer label, no diamonds, just dignity. I congratulated my brother, who couldn't meet my eyes. My father introduced me to distant relatives as our estranged daughter trying to make her way. When the stepmother asked about my job, the tone wasn't curiosity. It was mockery disguised as small talk. That was when I decided it was time. I slipped outside, pulled out my phone, and sent a single text, "Now." I was walking toward the parking lot when I heard the commotion behind me. At first, just murmurs, then shouting, then chaos. Through the glass doors, I saw them, 25 men in uniform, marching in, coordinated and silent. Each grabbed a tray, a table, a dish, and rolled it out with military precision. The caterers' trucks waited outside, engines running. In less than 10 minutes, every platter, every dessert tower, every bottle of champagne was gone. 300 guests, no food, no drink, just confusion and panic spreading like wildfire. My stepmother's shrill voice cut through it all. "What's happening? Where's the food?" The catering manager, a man who once groveled before her for payment delays, now spoke coldly. We were instructed to remove our services due to outstanding balances. She turned red. "That's impossible. Everything's paid for." He handed her a folder, the same contract she'd signed, with her fake signature on the paid section now voided. I'd seen to that. The company name on the invoice? My Shell Corporation. She hadn't noticed the change. My father tried to shout, to threaten, but the crowd had already started filming. The guests' murmurs grew darker, whispers of debt, fraud, humiliation. I stood outside, watching it all unfold through the glass. No one noticed me. Not until my stepmother turned toward the door, her eyes locking on mine through the chaos. I raised my champagne glass, still half full, and gave her a slow, deliberate nod. She understood. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. Then the lights flickered. The DJ cut the music. The air was thick with tension and the scent of panic. The perfect wedding turned into a public autopsy of their pride. I didn't stay to watch the end. I didn't need to. By the time the guests left, Hungry, whispering, recording everything, the family's reputation was gone. My father's business partners withdrew sponsorships. My brother's in-laws threatened to call off the honeymoon. And my stepmother, the self-proclaimed queen of appearances, deleted her social media that night. People say revenge doesn't heal you. Maybe they're right. But watching the same people who called me an embarrassment choke on their own arrogance, that felt like justice. I didn't ruin the wedding. They did, years ago, when they decided I wasn't worthy of their love. I just made sure they finally saw the cost of it. And the irony? I paid for the catering in full. I simply chose when and for whom it would be served.